to what we eat tonight. So in today's video, I am going to show you how to make cinnamon rolls. You're probably thinking there is already a ton of cinnamon roll recipes on YouTube, so why would I want to make another one? Well, let me tell you one thing. I am really good at making cinnamon rolls. So back in May and April, when all the restaurants were only allowed to do to go, the restaurant that I work at were making a lot of frozen take and bake items, and cinnamon rolls was one of them. And let me tell you one thing, people went absolutely nuts over these. We were like selling all of them every single day, and I was making hundreds and hundreds of cinnamon rolls every week just because people were buying them like crazy. You wouldn't think that cinnamon rolls was one of the essentials, but I guess it is. People have a soft spot for them because they are really tasty. As a professional baker, I do have a few tips on how to make them light and fluffy and super delicious. So make sure you stick around to find out what those tips are. And I'm gonna show you exactly how I make them at work so you can make them at home. First, you're going to need 570 grams of all-purpose flour, 95 grams of sugar, and 9 grams of salt. 6 grams of dry yeast. I'm using instant yeast, not active dry. 135 grams of softened unsalted butter. 250 grams of milk that's warm to about 100 to 110 Fahrenheit degrees. You'll need 1 egg, some ground cinnamon, obviously, an 8-ounce pack of cream cheese, some vanilla extract or paste, and lastly brown sugar. And sorry, I totally forgot to include powdered sugar in this shot, but you'll need some of that as well. We're going to start by making the dough. In a stand mixer bowl, add in the sugar, salt, and butter. Turn it on medium speed and cream the butter and sugar until they're light and fluffy, or about 2 minutes. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and crack in 1 egg. Add the yeast to the milk and give it a stir. Next, with the mixer on low speed, we're going to alternate adding in the flour and milk in 3 additions until a rough dough is formed. The dough is going to look very shaggy like this. Scrape the sides and switch to a dough hook attachment and put it on medium-low speed and let it knead for about 5 minutes. The dough is ready when it slaps the side of the bowl and clings onto the dough hook, as you can see here. Here's tip number 1. Avoid adding additional flour just because the dough is soft and sticky, unless it's so sticky that it becomes unmanageable. Adding too much flour will dry your dough and result in tough cinnamon rolls. Another way to tell if the dough is ready is you could tear up a little piece of dough and stretch it like this. If you can stretch it without breaking right away, that is a good sign that the dough is well kneaded with nice gluten development. This is called the window pane test. Next, grab a large clean bowl and oil the inside. Form the dough into a ball and place it inside a bowl and cover it with a towel and let it proof in room temperature until it doubles in size. This could take anywhere between 1.5 to 3 hours, depending on the temperature of your kitchen. Once the dough is finished proofing, punch out the air that's inside the dough. This is a good way to take out your aggression. Okay, here comes tip number 2. Dump the dough onto a greased quarter-sized sheet tray and flatten it out like so. By doing this, you could basically pre-shaping the dough into a rectangle. It will be a lot easier to roll out later if the dough has a rectangular shape rather than in a round shape. Tip number 3. Cover it with plastic wrap and pop it in the fridge for about 45 minutes or until the dough is hardened. Once again, this dough is very soft, so chill dough will be a lot easier to work with.
Meanwhile, let's make our cinnamon sugar. In a large bowl, combine 3/4 a cup of brown sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. Give it a good mix. Some people take cinnamon as a health supplement, but its health benefits remain unproven. Although there is some evidence it may help with diabetes, too much of it can be toxic to the liver and kidneys, so watch out. Of course, the real flavor people crave is that sweet, delicious frosting. So let's get started making that. In a stand mixer bowl, dump in 350 grams of powdered sugar. Add an 8-ounce package of cream cheese along with 3 tablespoons of butter. 1 teaspoon of good vanilla extract or vanilla paste. Turn the mixer on low and mix until the powdered sugar is fully incorporated into the cream cheese mixture. Then turn it on high and mix until it's fluffy. Turn off the mixer and add in 2 tablespoons of milk. Turn it back on and mix for another minute or so, and there's your frosting. Make sure you don't eat it all before you frost the rolls.
Next, get your baking tray ready. Grease it generously with butter. Flour your work surface and remove the chilled dough from the sheet tray. Flour the dough as well and start rolling it out to a 16 by 13 inch rectangle. It is a little less than a 1/4 inch thick. You don't want the dough to be too thin. See how easy that is when the dough is already in the rectangular shape? Also, a bench scraper is a great tool to keep your dough in shape. Once the dough is rolled out, spread about 3 tablespoons of softened butter all over the dough and then sprinkle the cinnamon sugar on top evenly. Make sure to leave about a 1/4 inch around the edges. And just kind of pat it down like this, make sure all the cinnamon sugar is sticking to the butter. Then gently start rolling the dough from top to bottom. Notice how I'm rolling the dough from one side to the other while bringing the dough down? This is a good way to ensure the cinnamon roll is nice and tight. Pinch the sides together. Tip number 4. Use a sawing motion with a sharp serrated knife to cut the cinnamon rolls so the rolls don't pinch. I'm slicing the roll into 13 even pieces that are about 1 1/4 inch thick. Thicker pieces equal bigger rolls, so you can decide how many pieces you want to cut it into. Transfer the rolls into the butter baking dish, and tip number 5, make sure you leave some room between each roll so they have room to expand. When you give them enough room to proof, they will rise nice and evenly, which will result in soft and fluffy buns, exactly what we want. I'm saving 4 rolls and freezing them for later when I have another cinnamon roll craving. Alright, now that this is done, you have 2 options. One is to go ahead and give your rolls the final rise and bake them off, or 2, letting them rise and rest in the fridge overnight, which yields a better and more complex flavor. I choose the overnight method, but you pick whichever fits your needs and schedule the best. Alright, so here it is, next day. This is what I did the night before. I had my cinnamon rolls in my pan and I let them sit out and proof until they're doubled in size, and I just wrap them up and then put them in the fridge. Next morning, I just took them out, let them come back to room temperature, and now you can see they're nice and puffy. These are ready to bake, but before baking them, I would say this is probably the most important tip. It might seem like nothing, but it makes such a huge difference. And this is tip number 6, the most important of all. Cover the rolls with aluminum foil during the first 25 minutes of baking. By covering them, you're basically steaming them and trapping all the moisture inside, which will ensure your rolls don't dry out. Trust me on this one, I learned this from experience.
Okay, we didn't mention this earlier, but we are also baking off a tray of store-bought Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. We are going to do a taste test with our homemade version and see if it's worth all the fuss.
Bake the cinnamon rolls in a preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven covered with foil for 25 minutes. Let's go ahead and pop in the store-bought ones as well. These don't require any proofing, so I'm a little concerned. But oh well, we'll see. 25 minutes later, take out the store-bought ones. Okay, these actually grew quite a bit in the oven, so alright. Remove the foil from the homemade ones and bake for another 10 to 12 minutes until they get a little color. Final tip, they should be slightly underdone, kind of like when you're baking brownies. The middle part will appear to be slightly doughy, but that's exactly what you want. Overbaking them will make them dry as the desert. Once they come out of the oven, let them rest for 15 minutes. Here's what I like to do. I like to pre-cut them with a serrated knife. Do not use a spatula or you'll smush and destroy the texture. Oh my god, these smell and look amazing. And hopefully you don't need all the frosting. Generously apply each roll with that delicious and tangy cream cheese frosting. You want to do this while the rolls are still warm. Spread them out evenly, making sure you cover all the nooks and crannies. Guys, check out my buns. I mean, will you just look at these? don't forget the store-bought ones. You want to ice them with the icing that came inside the tube.
I'm an American boy. I like cinnamon rolls, so I'm not sure.
I like cinnamon rolls that come from a can. Alright guys, it's time for my favorite part. Let's test these cinnamon rolls.
So on the left-hand side, we have the homemade version, and then this is the store-bought version. $1.89. You get 8 rolls. But by the looks of it, you can see that this, I put a shit ton of frosting on it because I like a lot of frosting. Because I'm gonna quote my coworker, if this thing is not a calorie bomb, then it's not worth eating. You need a lot of frosting, and that's the perks of making these at home, is you can put as much frosting on them as possible.
Alright, cinnamon roll challenge. Which one is better? The homemade or the Pillsbury Doughboy ones? $1.89. Oh yeah, that hits the spot. These are really good. Soft, fluffy, warm, sweet frosting. The frosting has some oomph to it. The whole cinnamon roll has some real oomph to it. Gives you that mouthful of breakfast pastry flavor, all natural. You can tell some love and care went into this.
Now the store-bought one, Pillsbury.
Try another bite of this.
That's a no-go. Night and day.
I have a little bit of a soft spot for these because every Christmas morning, once a year, my mom would go out of her way to buy these. And it made Christmas quite special. I do enjoy these. This brings me back.
I mean, if you like these, that's totally fine. I think these are okay if you're on a camping trip or you're staying somewhere else in an Airbnb where you can't make your own cinnamon rolls and you're like, I really want some cinnamon rolls right now. Then you go to the store and pick up one of these and bake them. These are great, just how convenient they are. But if you want like much better, superior cinnamon rolls, definitely go for these. Like, just spend one day, make a bunch of these, freeze them up, and just take them out whenever you want and bake them off, and you have fresh cinnamon rolls. You don't have to buy these.
Alright.
Cutest kitty ever. If you like cinnamon rolls, if you like today's video, make sure you like our video and subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram.
And we will see you next time.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Wow, look at the cute boy.